Hello, so I think today I'm going to do more of like a tutorial type thing. I'm going to do my best. I am not a makeup artist, but I'm going to do my best. And I think what I want to do is something that like involves color but is also more neutral. Um, just because I think color is fun and I don't want to do just like a all browns situation, but also like wearable because people like to wear things. So insightful. So, I haven't fully decided the colors, I don't think, but I got my palettes out here, and I think I'm gonna do the eyes first. I kind of go back and forth on if I do my face or my eyes first. It's not really, I don't know, it's not really something I care that much one way or the other. No glitter today though. I'm not going to do any glitter, I know that. I think I used black on this brush last. I have not been great about cleaning my brushes recently, so I need to get back into doing that. But I just used them like yesterday, so it shouldn't be too bad, I guess. So let's see. I think I'm going to start, because I'd like to try and match my shirt, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's like the orangish tan color, blue, white, and there's like a pinkish color in here too, like a reddish. Anyway, I'm gonna try and go with some of those colors. So I have this is the Tati Beauty palette. Oh, I don't want to bend it back. I'm going to go into this color with the like little bit of sparkles. Not like the full-on glitter though. And I think I'm just gonna put that right. Oh, this is kind of hard to like angle correctly and watch myself do. So I'm going to put that just right here. I'm not sure if this actually gives a good base, but at least with Tati's palette it seems like that helps with the blending. Okay. So I think I really want to incorporate that pinkish reddish color. So now, ooh, do I do the glitter one? There's a glitterish reddish shade right here, and the glitter in it is, or like the like fine little glitter is actually blue, so I wonder if that'll be a good tie-in. Now I'm gonna try and keep that just on the outside right here, but still like under my crease. Now I say under my crease because honestly it kind of ends up blending the little outside of it anyway, because of the brush. So I'm not gonna get too fussy if it goes outside of that area, but that way the darkest color is just right in this outside corner crease area. And I'm sorry I'm not doing like one eye and then trying to go and do the other one off camera or any of that fancy stuff. I just do both eyes at once so I can make sure I am doing the exact same thing, otherwise I miss steps. Especially because like I don't know about other people doing makeup, but I almost never like just pick a color and then don't go back. Like I'm already even going back to this eye right now. Like I never just like pick a color and do it and then like, okay, now move on. I'm almost always going back and forth and jumping in between and this and that and then all of that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think so. I've watched other people do makeup, so I'll try and like get close. So that's that right now. I think what I want to do, and I'm not trying to be, I don't know, whatever. I have Jawbreaker here, and I think I'm going to go into the shade, oh, this one bends back, alright, okay. Ooh. Raspberry. That's the one right here. And I'm going to go back into that same area, but I'm not going to pull it in quite as far. I'm going to kind of like tap it in there. I am using the same brush. You'll notice, maybe, or maybe you won't, that I just kind of use the same brush. Like, I have my brushes divided by color. So, like, even though sometimes that can get tricky because I don't always have like necessarily the size brush in that color that I want to use. So like this is the brush I use for all of my reddish shades. And that's probably not the best way to do it, but I do it that way. And so there are times if I need a smaller area that it's a little bit harder to use it, but I'm not that mad about it. I just work with it. So do what works for you. So because it's a similar enough color, by tapping it in, it kind of blended that, but it made those outside corners even darker. I'm trying to decide what color I want to do the main part of my lid. Let's see. I think maybe I'll try I have this goldish tan color in, well, it's the color Double Scoop in the Mini Breaker. This, hello, okay. This one, but it's kind, I always think it's darker than what I want it to be when I put it on. So I think maybe I'll try putting a little bit along where the red is, but not all the way over. So, and I know you're like, probably, ooh, that's kind of a lot. I always put too much on right away. I feel like you're probably not supposed to go up and down like this, but I sometimes think it blends a little bit better to do that. So, to at least get it where you want. Okay, see, in this, so I like that, but this is the part where I'm gonna go now back in, and I don't think I'm gonna add anything to the brush. I'm just going to allow the red that's left over on it to help blend it so that I can really still have that reddish color be that main color. And so it's just kind of softened the edges and brought in that tan color. I usually don't use this many colors, but this is, well, no, that's not true. I definitely do. I think, let's look at all of my palettes here. I think I want to keep it like that slight sparkle going on, and since it is tan, I think I'm gonna go into this like, ooh, I don't want to like blind you. This one right here with, oh, there's so much. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go into that for the inner like corner lid area. I'm trying to not like tilt my head up, but it's really hard because I have lots of like, my eyelid goes in far. So sometimes it's hard to do it without like looking up like this, because I try really hard. The other thing is I wrinkle my forehead a lot, and it's just like all the time, which I'll actually get to in a little bit once I do concealer, because I don't put any concealer on my forehead. Alright, I am liking, yeah, I'm liking this, I think. I'm gonna try the metallic-y shade. I haven't loved the metallic shades in this palette, to be honest. I don't know what I expected, but I think instead, not instead, now on top of that, I'm gonna go into Snack from Jawbreaker, and I'll use this, I think, brush. And it's the kind of shimmery light pink. And I think it'll just blend it together a little more with that reddish color. I'm gonna put it just in the middle right here. And I still like kind of blend it out, so it might look like, wow, you're putting that everywhere, but I'm not. I should still try and focus it in a specific area more. I feel like I need, oh man, I just closed my Tati palette, but I think, because I really like that tan in there in between, even though now the pink probably merges better with that red, but there we go. I think I'm gonna try the metallic-y, like tan color, the Soothe Metallic. This one. And I'm going to put that in between where I put that, like, to the tan color, or no, where I put Double Scoop earlier, to kind of mesh them together. I feel like I need something more in my crease right here. Hello, don't get everywhere, please. But, and I think it's gonna have to be a tan. So, I'm gonna go into Soothe again, but I'm gonna do the like light glittery, the sequin version. And I'm gonna put that right here in the more like inner crease. And I'm still keeping it up higher, but it's just enough darker than my lid that it gives me my eyes the dimension that I'm looking for, since these lighter colors are so close to my skin tone, but also it's not so dark that it detracts from the outer part. So that is what I am doing right now. So I think, do I want to do an under eye thing? Probably. I will put a little bit, I think, of, we'll try the Poet. I don't want like sparkles under my eye. Yeah, we'll do Poet Matte. And that's the red-ish color, but I'm not using the sequin one this time that has the blue glitter in it. Which I don't know. Yeah, you can see that a little bit. Well, maybe not you, but I can. And I'll put that like a little bit under the eye. For a while, I refused to use reds under my eye because I was told that they like, they like make your eyes look more irritated. And I'm not sure that's entirely true, because unless you're trying to make them look irritated, I don't think that they look irritated, especially when there's enough of the color that you're like, ah yes, that is makeup. So I only did the underneath on the kind of the outer parts. I don't know, maybe I'll blend it with some of the other crease color Soothe. And put that in more as well. So it's almost, I don't think it is a halo. I don't think that's the right term. But one thing I'll mention is, like, I didn't say outer V at all because I just feel like my eyes don't have a V. And maybe it kind of ends up creating that shape, but like, my eyes are round. And I can like force a V, especially if I like put like a cardboard, or I wouldn't use this, but put like cardboard or something here and like force it to happen, which sometimes I do. Like, I'm not opposed, but I'm not very good at just like doing that, like, oh yes, pull it out and all of that. Like, I do much better with this tapping, and then it stays in a more rounded shape, and I'm content with that. That's fine. My eyeliner usually changes the shape more, I guess. Which, I think I'm done with this eye makeup. A little bit of color, a little bit of neutral. And so what I've been doing lately is using Memory Matte. So the black matte shadow in Tati's palette for my eyeliner, which has been really great. It looks nice, but also I'm definitely going to be looking into getting a like gel liner or something. I had been using the Fenty Beauty liner, but first of all, I think it's almost gone. So I think maybe that's why I've been struggling with it, but it just wasn't working for me as well as I wanted it to. So I think I'm gonna try gel liner next so that I can keep doing what I'm doing with this shadow, but with something maybe just a little more black. And like this eyeshadow is black, but when I'm doing my wing, which honestly I do every day that I do my makeup for the most part, I do a wing. And I will mention I'm not like pulling, I'm just kind of putting a little pressure because then I feel more stable. And I like to line, so I'm a little bit weird. So on this eye, I line the eye first. And then using like the curve of my lower lashes, I go up a little bit. And this is where it's easier to do this with like this brush, because I can just literally like kind of go right in line with the eye and then pull it up. Wow, it looks kind of bad right now, but that's fine. And that gets me the like proper angle or whatever. And then this, I'm gonna pull a little, sorry. And then I can bring it on the top towards where I just lined my eye. And this is the part where, of course, when I do it on camera is when it gets all like weird. But this is where it's not always as like dark in the wing as I would like it to be. And maybe some people like that. Maybe people want it to blur and blend more into the eyeshadow. I know some people just like it better like that. I like to see it. And maybe that's, well, yeah, that might actually look better on camera than it does in person. But either way, that's how I like it. I think that's what works with my eye shape better. Not that a blended look wouldn't, but I always feel like my eyes look more naked or something. And then I've actually been using this to line my lower line too. I've seen a lot of people not put black, and I'm not putting this in the waterline. I'm just putting it on the, like, right where the eyelashes are. So right next to the waterline, but I don't put anything in my waterline. It makes me nervous or something. So anyway, that's what I do for my right eye. So for my left eye, and I don't know if this is because now I have a wing on my right eye to compare to, but I do the wing first. And I think it just works better with how my eye works. So same process, starting down here, and then going and pulling towards where the rest of the liner will be. I think I don't know. I think it's just easier too. But I'm gonna do this thing that you probably shouldn't do. So I had like a little oopsie, but not enough that I'm going to take off everything. And that's just life, right? So it's always just easier, but I also think that like once I have the wing, then I can make sure the wing is the same before I do the rest of the liner. And then I'm more confident in the rest of the eye turning out how it should. I just wish this wing part would stay more black. And no one else probably notices. Everyone's like probably like, that looks like a black liner, and I like it does to some extent, but it looks like I blurred it out more because it's a shadow. And I mean, it could also be this brush, I suppose. But I just like having that really solid dark black. Sometimes I'll do a different color bottom liner. I get a little crazy with that sometimes. I could do blue maybe. No, my eyes are blue, it's fine. Anyway, but I really don't go into the colored like top liners. Actually, when I was in a musical, I was in the musical Aladdin Jr. in middle school. And everyone was supposed to wear brown liner because that's the color that like fit the color scheme and whatever. And they like told me I had to wear black liner because the brown was not dark enough for the shape of my, or like for my eyes in particular. It didn't make them like stand out enough. And so I was the only one in the cast wearing black liner, except for like, I think some of the boys had black liner on too, on some spots. So, I don't know. Black liner just works better. And I wear brown liner sometimes. Sometimes. If I'm going something super soft and natural. But for the most part, I'm just black liner. So I'm going to put on mascara. I am using the Maybelline New York Total Temptation Waterproof Hydrofuge. I don't know. It's alright. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I am actively on the market for a new mascara. So, we just use this one in the meantime. I did get a different one, but it didn't end up working, and it didn't feel good, and well, yeah, it just didn't work out for me, so I've just kept using this one. This video is a little bit longer than I intended it to be so far. What, 21 and a half minutes? Which maybe we'll hit a point where I'm doing things long enough that I'm going to edit them, but we aren't there. So, that is the eye look. You might be able to see some of the goofiness on that liner now. So I think I said this in my last, like, get ready with me, but I really don't wear a full face most days. And I'm fortunate enough to have, like, really good skin, so I just generally don't want to put a lot of product on it. I mean, I like to wear foundation sometimes just for fun and do the whole, like, contouring and all of that, but most of the time I'm just going to wear concealer, and this is the Magic Star concealer in the shade C6. It has the olive undertones, but the lighter color, which I just recently learned my skin is kind of like that. So I used to do the whole, like, chin, this part, like the whole T-zone, but what I figured out is that I just have a very, like, expressive forehead or something, so I don't, and so, like, when I would put concealer up there, I would be trying to, like, cover up some of those, like, where my forehead creases all the time. But what I found is it was, like, accentuating it, just because literally no matter how hard I try, I just wrinkle my forehead all the time. And so that's just part of who I am, I guess. So, and rather than try to change that and, like, get frustrated, I just stick to keeping the concealer under my eyes where it still brightens my face, covers up those teacher bags, but does not accentuate a bunch of other stuff. And also, I am a person that touches my face a lot, which I know you shouldn't, but whatever. And so, not only wearing less foundation, but wearing concealer in, like, places that I don't touch as much is really important. So I'm not, like, going like, ooh, but, like, I touch my nose all the time, and I touch, like, this part of my face and my forehead. I don't know. I touch my face a lot, but not this area, so I guess that's that. So I have the setting powder too, and Jeffree's setting powder. It's in the shade Fair. And so what I do is, like, I have a sponge, it's not a beauty blender, it's the, like, Morphe one. But I honestly found that it just works better for me to use my finger for the powder, because I can feel when it's blended in and when it's not sticky anymore. So then I know that I don't need more powder there, but also then I'm not over applying or not applying enough. and I can just really feel the smoothness. I have like not super dry skin, but kind of dry-ish skin, and so when I put on a lot of powder, it just makes my face look kind of funny. And when I don't put on enough, then my makeup does weird things, and so this is a way for me where I'm like, okay, now it feels smooth, now we're good. We're set, it's good. I don't know why this lighting thing keeps happening, but sorry. So I don't use a ton of powder, and I don't like do the baking, or I don't know if you could see that, but it went. So, and then I guess I could do like an inner corner thing, although I'm pretty happy with how it looks right now. I have this tiny brush, where did it go? That I do use for pretty much all my inner corner highlights. Where is it? I don't know where it went. That's okay. I guess I don't need to use that little brush. Oh wait, here it is. Okay. It was just, nope, this is a lip. Okay. It's fine. I don't need to use it. Oh, wow. It was facing the opposite direction of the rest of my brushes. So there's this little tiny brush that I use. And I guess I'll use the shade Jawbreaker, which I've been a little bit underwhelmed by, to be honest, this shade. Because I just feel like, unless I'm only using it for like inner corner or something, it doesn't, I don't know. I think the bluish greenish undertone messes with me because I want it to be more like this pearly white. And it's just not, which is fine. I just need to make sure I remember that when I'm using it. And it works with today, I think. There we go. I have an inner corner highlight. Maybe I will wear a highlighter today. Yeah. So this is another thing I use my fingers for. I have the Supreme Frost in Diamond Wet, and I just like kind of get it on my finger. It's pretty sparkly, and I go along my cheekbone and I rub it in very lightly. I don't even know if you can see. But I noticed that even though it's this more glittery thing, and like people definitely notice that there's like, it's like sparkly, but they don't like, but it can be softer. It doesn't need to be this like blinding highlight all the time. So that is, oh, I'm gonna do a lipstick. I chose like a little bit darker one. It's called Plum This Show. It's from Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color, or that collection from Rimmel London. And I know that like these, especially these berry colors in these lipsticks get a little uneven at first, but they even out pretty quick. Now the other thing is my anxiety. One of the things is I end up like picking at my lips. So if there's any weirdness, it's also probably from that, which I've been trying really hard to stop doing that. Just taking care of yourself is important. I have a very like pointy upper lip, so I always have to follow that. I guess I wouldn't have to, but I do. I do not typically use a lip liner. I don't think I even have a lip liner, to be honest. So I just usually use the liner itself. Or not the liner, the lipstick itself. To trace my lips. Which is also why I hate it when like lipsticks bleed. Like there are some that will like get feathery on the edges of your lips, and I hate that because, like, sorry, but I'm not wearing a liner, and maybe that's, like, my fault, but, like, why is it bleeding onto the rest of my skin? That seems weird. And I usually only wear matte colors. Wow, and I don't usually need to go back in, but I'm gonna go back in a little. Just because I like how they look better personally. So that's the color. Did I tell you the color of this one? This one's Plum This Show. And I don't know if it still exists or not. I don't know. And then I have some setting spray, which sometimes I forget, but I don't know. Give that a second to diffuse. So, I think that is all for today. I don't know if that was a great tutorial, but that is the look. And yes, I am still going to teach today. It is Friday, but I do my makeup how I would to teach, how I would pretty much any other day. So it just kind of depends on what outfit I'm wearing. And I guess where I'm going a little bit, but not too much. So that's my tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful Friday, even though it might not be a Friday when you watch this. So have a good day.